Hey guys, so this is the first video you've had in over a week, and I'm sorry for that. I do have an additional video to upload this week of my husband taking the Hogwarts sorting quiz, so you will get that as like an apology for me taking so long to do this video, but I did say in my last one that work might be a little bit crazy. It's restaurant work, so it's kind of all over the place as far as my schedule. I worked a lot of long hours last week. Of course, the other daytime hostess at this restaurant was sick, so that meant I had to cover for her. So, yeah, that was fun. Long hours at a restaurant on your feet. I just, ugh. I was exhausted, and I'm still kind of recovering. The colitis is trying to flare up, so I'm on prednisone. So I also apologize for me possibly going all over the place as far as what I'm talking about. I think I'll be able to stay on topic. I haven't taken the prednisone yet. I wanted to wait until after I got this video out of the way because after I take it, I can't sit still, I can't concentrate, which later on I've got a couple hours planned to write, so I don't know how much I will actually get written, but yeah. So, I've got my beautiful Hufflepuff notebook with my Jacob notes in it. So let's get started. So, first off, to me, Jacob stands out as so much more than the comedic relief. Yes, he is a funny character. He likes to make people laugh. And that is just part of who Jacob is. So, more than just the comedic relief. In the first movie, all he wanted to do was get a loan to open a bakery so he could make people happy with what he baked. If there's not a more pure, kind-hearted person, it's a good person that just wants to make people happy with food. Come on, give me all the food. If you want to show me love, give me all the food. And yes, there are my screenplays. I didn't use screenplays as much as I was expecting I would, but I kind of needed to actually watch Dan play Jacob just to get a better idea of who Jacob is. Sometimes you can get more from a character by watching the actor play the character than you can from a screenplay. He feels a need to provide for somebody, somebody besides himself. Obviously, we all have that need to provide something for ourselves, a means to survive and to live, but he wants to provide that for somebody else, not just himself. And I'm sorry for the odd lighting. My glass sliding door is right over there, and it's very sunny. But if I were to close the blinds, that would make this way too dark. So, yeah, I just realized half my face is pretty much whited out and the other part is not. So, again, he feels a need to provide for somebody. Now, there is a deleted scene in FB1 where his fiance breaks up with him because he didn't get the loan. Sorry, my voice is scratchy. But, she broke up with him because he didn't get a loan. And, I can see why they took it out because, that makes Jacob look like a pretty terrible person when you realize that his fiance broke up, and then later on, within just like 24 hours, he meets Queenie and starts to fall in love with her. I can see why they took that out. Like, I would be fine if they had said the ex-fiance thing happened like 6 months before the start of Where to Find Them. I would have been fine with that, but yeah, it keeping that deleted scene in would have just made him look like this terrible, awful person who can't seem to make up his mind about a relationship. After the meeting at the bank, he's feeling pretty much like a failure. I mean, he didn't get the loan to open the bakery, which is all he wanted to do, and then going with the deleted scene, his fiance breaks up with him. He's having a terrible day, and then he gets bit by the Smirtlap that he's like, what the hell is this thing? So yeah. Sorry. Again, just kind of, I think it's mostly from the weather. It's been going between hot and cold a lot lately, so, I mean, what else is new, though, for this time of year in the Midwest? But yeah, the next point I have is he helps friends in need. This goes along with if I thought Jacob, well, if Jacob was a wizard, what house would he be in at Hogwarts? He would definitely be a Hufflepuff, just because he's so loyal to his friends. I mean, in Crimes of Grindelwald, he's willing to be Newt's wingman, and in the first one, he's kind of trying to teach Newt how to interact with people, because, I mean, that's kind of important. I'm socially awkward, but, I mean, I am working with the general public all day when I'm at work, so, I mean, yeah, it's important to be able to interact with people and not scare them off with your weirdness. That didn't really help. Oh, it kind of did. Just try and change the angle that I'm sitting at. And I think Jacob trying to be Newt's wingman calls back to Jacob wanting to make people happy in a way. Yeah, it's not like with what he bakes, but I mean, he really cares about Newt. Because of that, he wants to see Newt happy, and he knows Newt being with Tina would make Newt happy. So that's why he's trying to be Newt's wingman. And I mean, everything that Jacob tells Newt to do, Newt just kind of goes against it, and he's like, I'm going to do this my way. Which is really funny when you think about it. Yes, we drink off-brand stuff, but I mean, it's cheaper, and when you're living off of one income for God knows how long, yeah. Which I do have a steady income now, but like everything that I'm making, I'm literally throwing out my student loans trying to get rid of it, because the sooner that thing is gone, the better of a chance we'll have of getting a house loan, I feel like, because right now, my credit kind of sucks, so, yeah. Oh yes, I have a really good point, as far as Jacob's relationship with the magical world. He's not freaked out by it like a lot of muggles and gnome mages would be, depending on where you're from, what you call them. He wasn't freaked out. Yeah, he was confused at first, but I think part of that came from being bit by a Murtlap, being attacked by something. And then, yeah, eating all day. I assume he was kind of nervous about his meeting with the bank loan officer person, and just couldn't find it in him to eat, and then he runs into Newt. Yeah, I mean, he was confused at first, very much so, and rightfully so, but he wasn't freaked out by it. I mean, even in Crimes of Grindelwald, when he's trying to explain how he remembers everything, he does say, let me try and find it. I was a dummy and did not mark my spots. Yeah, why did I do that? Oh, there's Dumbledore and Newt's conversation. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. Newt's house, basement, Monty. So Newt says, but you were supposed to be obliviated. Jacob says, I know. And then he says, it didn't work, pal. I mean, you said it. The potion only erases bad memories. I didn't have any. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had some weird ones, but this angel, talking about Queenie, this angel over here, she filled me in on all the bad parts. And here we are, I guess, huh? Yeah. So, I mean, Jacob himself didn't think of anything like too awfully bad. Most of his memories of the magical world in New York were good. I mean, one of his first experiences was Queenie making him dinner using magic, and then uh, getting to know Newt and his creatures down in the case, and then they went on a crazy adventure trying to recapture Newt's creatures. So yeah, I mean, Jacob didn't really have a whole lot of bad memories. I mean, except for the um, obscurus, and yeah, like that's it. So of course he wasn't going to be freaked out. Most of what he was experiencing, he was seeing as something good and kind of exciting. Um, Jacob's not like some flat character that's gonna let people walk all over him. He does have a sense of uh, self-preservation, I guess is what it's called. And the first time we see that is in the alleyway outside the bank in Where to Find Them. He probably thinks Newt's about to kill him, so I mean, Newt turns around to get his wand out, and uh, Jacob just thinks, I need to get out of here. So he grabs one of the cases, apologizes to Newt, and then whacks him. Like, who apologizes to somebody they think might try and kill them? But hey, that speaks to Jacob's character. Um, hang on, I'm going to try and close the blind, try and... Okay, so not the best, but still better. Um, we see him trying to get away from Newt by whacking Newt with the suitcase, apologizing right beforehand, and then running. Um, yeah. And also, Jacob is kind of a resilient guy. I mean, he was part of the expeditionary forces in World War One. There wasn't a draft for World War One, so Jacob just kind of signed up and went. Um, and he did lose his brother in that war, and that's not something easy to do. I mean, there's a very good chance that he saw his brother die. And I mean, when you think about that, that's just like, ooh, just like heart-wrenching. Hang on. Sorry, I'm, again, dry throat, and I think it's just part of the weather. So, we know Jacob's a resilient guy because he was literally like the last one to come home, it seems like. Nobody told him the war was over. He just kind of looked around one day and he's like, huh, where'd everybody go? And decided he'd better, get on home and try and make a new life, which isn't an easy thing after going through a war, fighting in a war. That is something life-altering. It changes you a little bit. So yeah. Also, something I really like about how Jacob is treated. He's a bigger guy, so you would expect maybe him being looked down on, but he's not. I mean, the reason his fiance broke up with him was he was having trouble getting money to open a bakery rather than his weight. Newt genuinely likes Jacob. I mean, for Newt to find somebody that he likes enough to keep around, yeah, that's really amazing. I mean, at the end of Where to Find Them, so right before Jacob steps out into the rain at the end of the first movie, he says, "Hey, this is for the best. I was never even supposed to be here. I was never supposed to know any of this. Everybody knows Newt only kept me around because," and then he's not entirely sure, so he asks Newt why he kept him around. Newt says, "Because I like you, because you're my friend, and I'll never forget how you helped me." So, I mean, for Newt to say that about another human being, yeah. And then Queenie parallels Jacob's line from The Blind Pig, saying, "There's only one like you," right before Jacob steps out into the rain. And, I mean, she obviously is starting to fall in love with him at that point. So, yeah. My final thoughts are, Jacob has a huge heart of gold, and we should all strive to be a little bit more like him. I mean, he just wants to see people happy, and I think that's something we should all try to do, is see people be happy. So, yeah. I am trying to start doing like a question of the day type thing. Unfortunately, this video I've got nothing. I didn't really put a huge amount of thought into what I might ask for. Sorry. Okay, I'm fine. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time trying to think of a question, so when I do, I will comment that down below or add it to the description box, but very likely I will comment down below whatever said question is. Well, I guess since this was about Jacob, a baker, what is one of your favorite baked goods? That is the question of the day. My favorite would be brownies, but I love chocolate, so yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.